All right, I'm gonna click record, and then do I do the same for myself? Or am I?
Spotlight yourself. Click your video and put spotlight video.
Okay, this is like a whole new tool to me. So welcome to tonight's call. I've never actually kicked off a call before, I guess. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Amanda Guld. I am the founder of Team Flex, part of Team BU and the Ripcore Rock Stars, and a host of other teams within our organization who we're lucky enough to share our Thursday night team calls with. And again, for those of you who don't know me, I'm a wife. I'm a mom of one with one on the way. I was a special education teacher turned coach back in November 2014, about 5 months after having my first son, and I was always into health and fitness, but struggled to lose the last of that baby weight. Found my coach, Michelle, by chance, by a post that somebody shared about a clean eating challenge she was leading, and literally the rest was history. I jumped in, and I have not looked back since. I'm so thankful for these programs, thankful for Shakeology. 21 Day Fix literally changed my life, and we're going to really talk about a lot of that tonight in our topic, the three big points about overcoming objections. Just a heads up, it's like really weird seeing myself so big on my screen. So if you see me looking like making silly faces or something, it's just because I'm not used to seeing myself so blown up there. But we're going to jump right in because being in my third trimester now, I get tired pretty quickly, and it is after 9 o'clock here. So we will hopefully not keep you guys too long. But this is a big time of year. We are, from what I've been hearing, a lot of us are facing a lot of different objections going on. And Lauren and I started working together a few months ago, and something that we came up with together was to really start going beyond the objections. We all hear objections, but what do? Do you respond when people give you objections, or do you face them head on and ask them more questions and show them how genuinely interested you are in them? Can you hear that, Lauren? That like chaos going on upstairs? No, okay. My washer goes crazy, and I can hear it, and it sounds really loud. So anyway, we've been hearing a lot of that, and what we've been doing is combating that by not only showing people that we genuinely care about them as their future coaches, but that we also care about them as individuals, and we want to help them discover their why and their reasoning behind the objections they're giving. So the first big point in overcoming objections is to really have that belief in yourself and self-confidence. And this comes from three different things. Number one is committing to the vital behaviors every single day. We are so lucky to be part of a company that gives us these activities that we should be engaging in on a daily basis. And they're really just encouraging us to be proof of the products. Are you consistently committing to a program? Engaging in personal development and sharing that journey with others. So that's point one under belief and self-confidence, is committing to the vital behaviors every single day. The point two under that belief is, like I had just said, going off of that, is committing to it. So are you in it or are you not in it? We have coaches who join, and for the first 2 or 3 months, something might seem easy. Maybe people are coming to you because they're seeing your posts, but then month 4, people fall off a little bit, or you're not getting as much traction. But what people are actually waiting to see is, are you going to be here in 6 months? Are you going to be here in a year? Are you going to be here in 5 years, 10 years, and beyond? They want to know that, because a lot of people have tried different weight loss programs and things like that in the past. They want to know that they can count on you as a coach. Are you still using these programs day after day, consistently, year after year? So keeping that in mind and letting people know that you are not going anywhere. Vacations, life, things get in the way. We understand that. But to your challengers, they need to know that you're going to be there. And for those people watching you and following you on social media, they need to know that you're going to be there. I can quiet down a little bit. If it sounded like I was screaming, I'm sorry. That was so loud up there. And then point number 3 under belief in yourself and self-confidence is to view everything as a puzzle. I really liked this point. So view everything as a puzzle, because if you view things as a problem versus as a puzzle, you're thinking, okay, there's no solution here. Whereas when you look at things as a puzzle, you realize that everything can really be worked out. There's always a solution. And I just love that point. And a few of these points you'll hear about tonight. I had listened to another call a few weeks prior and heard these points, and I was like, wow, they are awesome. So it's really nice to be able to tie them into what we are going to continue sharing tonight. So that was point number 1, how to overcome objections, belief in yourself and having that confidence. Just really, really, really keeping that in mind and honing in on that. Number 2, the second way to overcome objections is to share your story and share where you're going. I think Lauren did this. I know we did this on our team pages, but a few weeks ago I had asked, what objections did you give when your coach first approached you about joining either the coaching opportunity or challenge group? How many times did your coach have to reach out to you? Use that to, I don't want to necessarily use the term use that to your advantage, but use that to make you more relatable to the people you're talking to. Now, me, on one hand, I jumped right in. I don't have that story of being able to share with somebody, oh, I gave this objection or that objection. But I've heard so many from friends, and I've heard so many objections from people I'm talking to, that it just makes you so much more relatable when you're able to connect back to people with your own story. And then going along with sharing your story, share your vision and share where you're going. So maybe you're not making, $10,000 a month or, $100,000 a year. Maybe you're not doing that yet, but you are making an extra $40 a week, and that's helping you pay for your, child's diapers, or pay for the gas that you're getting in your car, or helping you contribute to groceries and taking some of that stress off of your husband, or if you're like living with a roommate, maybe you're able to contribute in another way, but still have fun money to use outside of Beachbody. Whatever it is, share that, and then share where you're going and what you want from this opportunity, both physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, all of that. A great tactic to use is the feel, felt, found method. I'm sure you guys have heard of that. I know we've talked about it a lot, but just relating back to what you were feeling before you got started, how it felt when you did finally get moving on your journey, and what you found out since then. And then another point to think about when you're sharing this is that a lot of times when you're getting questions from people, or you're getting objections from the people you're talking to, really you have to think about, what do they want to know? They may have failed at trying things in the past, so maybe they're feeling a little bit skeptical about trying something new. So they're probably wondering, is this going to work for me? Can I do it? How will it make me feel? So there are a lot of things going into that. To just keep in mind about trying to answer that and help them, and connecting back with using lines like what I love most is, and not just spilling out all these details on them. It's awesome to know about the programs, but to be able to share your own personal experience, which ties back to that number 1, committing to it, is going to be most beneficial over time. And then going along with that, I am actually reading The Go-Giver right now, and I'm loving it. And today I came across this chapter that just totally lined up with number 1 and number 2 for overcoming objections, and believing in yourself and having confidence, and sharing your story and sharing where you're going. I mean, the topic of this chapter that I was reading today is the law of authenticity. The most valuable gift you have to offer is yourself. So I just want to read you a quick passage that I took away from this. It's this woman, she was giving a speech, and she says, I'm here because I have the awesome responsibility and honor of selling you something far more valuable than a house, or in our case, a fitness program. What I'm here to sell you on is you. People remember this. No matter what you're training, no matter what your skills, no matter what area you're in, you are your most important commodity. The most valuable gift you have to offer is you.
Reaching any goal you set takes 10% specific knowledge or technical skills, 10% max. The other 90% is people skills. And what's the foundation of all people skills? Liking people, caring about people, being a good listener. Those are all helpful, but they are not the core of it. The core of it is who you are. It starts with you. As long as you're trying to be someone else or putting on some act or behavior someone else taught you, you have no possibility of truly reaching people. The most valuable thing you have to give people is yourself. No matter what you think you are selling, what you're really offering is you. And Lauren will get more into that later in the call as we get into the application piece. But really being you, being authentic, sharing your story, that's what's going to help drive you forward. That's what's going to help people connect with you. And that's probably been one of the most powerful things that I've heard from women over the past year and a half, is that when I'm engaging in conversation with people now, people I've never ever met, people I've maybe only even had private messages with a few times, I hear from them, I feel like I've known you forever, because I am very open and honest on social media. I don't hold too much back. I just kind of share my journey, share my story as I go on. And I'm able to build those relationships, or I feel as though I'm able to build those relationships with people because I have been so genuine and upfront through my posts, and when I do speak to them one-on-one through the stories I share. And then number 3, so the third point into overcoming objections is to reciprocate with a question. And again, that's something that really we're going to dive more into in the application section. But the biggest thing I want to say about reciprocating with a question is, when you hear an objection, like we had said before, what do? Do you face it head on and continue showing somebody that you care? Or do you run away from it, retreat, and not respond anymore? So it's just something I want you to keep in mind as we move forward. I think that is it for the points that I have to share right now. So Lauren, if you want to take it over, I'm going to see if I can.
I got it.
Oh, okay, great. And let me see if I can figure out how to do the spotlight again. Okay, yay. All right.
I told you I'd wear a headband.
I love it. You look beautiful. I told you I'd have my hair done, but no makeup, so.
Okay. Well, hey, everyone. I'm Lauren. I've been, I guess, a little brief if you don't know me. I've been a coach a little over a year and a half. Amanda and I actually started a month apart from one another, and kind of we laughed because we're like the same person. I was an education major. I taught for 4 years, became a stay-at-home mom after my first son. My only son. My other kid's a daughter. But after Bella struggled with postpartum depression and gained a lot of weight back, I played tennis through college, so sports have always been a part of my life, and just kind of let that go. And when I found Beachbody through a free group, I was super hesitant. I was not like Amanda. Was like, I'm going to do this for a month as a challenger. And then I think it was all of 20 days later, I think I signed up as a coach. So just kind of fell in love with the product. But I really did, for about 3 months, give some of these heavy objections that we hear. And I think it's just really interesting. I know as we hear objections, I'm going to go into these points in a minute. You're going to learn I'm like squirrel. But as we go into these objections, I think a lot of times as coaches, we get really frustrated with people giving us all these different objections. But one thing I tell my coaches time and time again is go back to your conversation with your coach and read the questions that you asked. Read the conversation that you had with your coach. And I promise you, it will be most likely the most eye-opening conversation that you read, because I think we forget. We like dive in and we forget about what we said and how we objected to this opportunity. And I know for me, going back, I was that person that drives me crazy now. I like asked a bajillion questions, and then I was like, let me think about it. Let me think about it. Let me think about it, like over and over and over again. And then I was that person that didn't respond. So it's funny how the people that drive us crazy the most are the ones that we were coming into this. So my little 2 cents to start. But I'm going to go into the application aspect of everything that Amanda just talked about. And there are some of these that I get like really revved up and fired up in calls. So just like bear with me. I think Amanda's getting used to it. We talk every Monday, and like there's some things that I'm like, so just bear with my personality if you don't know me. My team's used to it. So anyway, number 1, application, belief in yourself. So these are things that I really would encourage you to write down. Because what I'm about to share with you are things that I've done, things that Amanda and I've talked about, things that, my team and I work through. And with it being application, it's real. There are some things that I'm going to give you that, could be, plastered on your wall, basically, somewhere on a piece of paper. Okay, so number 1, do you have a plan? So in order to believe in yourself, you have to have a plan. And where does those plans start? And Amanda went over this. Your vital behaviors. What program? So number 1, what program are you doing? Have you committed to a program? Have you committed to finishing a program? And when I say committing to it, I mean writing it down on a piece of paper that you are going to commit to it and finish it, okay? I am really bad at this. I'm going to tell you guys what to do, and then I need to go do it too. I have remotely finished 21 Day Fix. I say remotely because I have not finished all 21 days in a row. I have finished Combat to a T. So there are a few programs that I have done. But one of the things at Summit that they plastered up on the screen was, I have this literally, I had to take it down. I'm going to see if you guys can see this. Okay. It says, I'm going to start and finish, and I'm going to go over this in just a second. The programs I'm going to finish this year, and drink Shakeology every day, and I signed it and dated it. It was the day after Summit. And I have to have that up on for me to visually see, and I'm going to go into vision in just a little bit. But you need to commit and stick to a whole program. Why? Our business is based off of being a product of the product. We have to be able to show people that this stuff works. So in order to create a belief in ourselves, we need to start a program and finish it. Take those before pictures. One of my coaches did a great post. A lot of us have copied her afterwards, but she did the post of the forward, side, back, and then blacks out her body on it and says, stay tuned in 21 days. And I love that. And it gives people, hey, I'm doing this. This is what I'm doing. This is how I'm going to be accountable. And how does that help us with belief in ourselves? Because when you complete a program, 1, you're going to have a transformation. If you're a brand new baby coach, start with a 3-day refresh. That gives you 3 days immediately of a transformation of some sort. that you can share on social media. 21 Day Fix, that should be like one of your first programs that you kick off with, because in 21 days, you have results. And so what does that do for us? It breeds confidence. You know, when you see that transformation in yourself that you can be sharing on social media, you slowly start to see like a belief in yourself emerge. Why do we talk so much on social media? Not just about the physical journey. I don't know about y'all, but the physical journey is just like a bonus for me. The emotional, mental, and like everything else that rolls up into that, those bonuses have been the best for me. And so to be able to like create that confidence in the first little bit of your journey is essential. So you have got to start and finish a program. Okay? So that's number one. Start and finish program and write it down. And you're going to know why I keep saying write it down in a minute. Okay? Personal development. Are you reading? Personal development breeds this amazing like inner growth and confidence. I know some of the ones I've listened to lately, Girl Code, I'm listening to Mastering Your Mean Girl. And anytime I'm listening to these books, like I almost want to like put my fists up and like duke it out, like because I like get so wrapped up by these like, I mean, my husband cracks up at some of these names of these books because it really is like girl power. But like, why not? Like, why can't we dominate and like just kill this business? So you have got to have personal development. And so Number two, what I want you to do, I want you to create a plan for yourself. If you read a book, typically for me, I'm a slow reader. So I literally would like read a like paper book, one a month. That, yes, pitiful. But like with kids, I just couldn't get a lot in. And so I was reading about one book a month. So if you read and you're a slow reader, I want you to plan what books you're going to read in the next 2 to 3 months. You have to have a plan, okay? I discovered recently, I'm a little late to the playing field here, but audiobooks, they are my lifesaver because I'm so slow, and I can put them on in the car when I cook, when I clean dishes, when I do laundry, and I have zipped through so many books, and I feel so much more empowered because I'm going through more personal development, and I'm able to do it in a way that literally it's like they're speaking into me. And so if you choose audio, I want you to plan out your next 3 books. What are you reading next? Okay? So for me, so that you know I'm not just speaking and not doing, for me, I'm finishing up, I'm about halfway through Mastering Your Mean Girl. I have, my next book is Crush It by Gary Vaynerchuk. And then my next one after that is Miracle Morning from Network Marketers. So those are like my 3 I have lined up right now. So make sure that you have that in plan. Okay. Number 3 in belief in yourself is a daily tracker. Figure out a system that works for you, whether that's Google Sheets, whether that's Google Streak. I know a lot of my team uses Streak. Amanda and I discovered and were in awe together of Team Z. We love it. But you have to figure out what works for you and your business, but you have to have some sort of tracker. So how does this help with this whole belief in yourself? Because it gives you a plan. And when you have a plan, it again brings in the confidence. Okay. So things that you need to have, how many conversations are you planning to have a day? How many invites, whether that be a challenge group invite, a free group invite, or a coach invite. I know for where I am in the business, I have a goal for each, all 3 of those if I'm running a free group. How many people do you plan on adding to Instagram? How many people do you plan on adding to Facebook? Have a plan in your head for what you have. And when you, I know okay, so the way that Team Z works is like it has a circle, and as you like continue it, it's like a game. As you like continue it throughout the day, this little circle goes around, and then you like finish, and it's like, yes. And when I have those circles completed, believe it or not, like there's a confidence that evolves from that. And so yeah, 2 cents on Team Z plug. So lastly, in believe in yourself is believe in yourself. You have got to believe in you as a coach. And this is where like my passion and like comes out. You have got to believe that you are worth it, that you are here, that you have a purpose, and that your purpose is different from every other person on this team. There is not one coach that is the same. And I love what Shailene Johnson said at Summit. She said, you can be the first-rate version of yourself or the second-rate version of somebody else. I mean, like, whoa! I was like, just like mouth open for a second when I heard that, because how often do we like look at these other coaches and be like, I wish I could be like them. I wish I could do that. But guess what? You're not them. You're you. Be proud of the fact that you are you and that you have something to bring to the table that that coach that you're staring at doesn't have to bring to the table. You are you. Be you and be proud of you. I was at Super Saturday last week, and our like keynote speaker for that, she told us your story is your power. And it is nothing else. Nobody else has the exact same story as you. So master your story. Figure out what your story is. If you have never written down your story, write your story down and master it. Master telling your story. And I'm going to share a little bit in scripts later, but master your story in like a short little version. And master your story in a long version that you can actually share like verbally with somebody. So I have a story of mine that I've written out that I can send via email, or if I wanted to shorten it up a little bit, I can send it Facebook Messenger. And then I have a story that is my story that I can share with people that I talk to over the phone. So figure out what your story is, master your story, and believe in your story, and believe more, even more so, that you have value and that you have value to offer. We get the objection so many times. What's the number one objection? Money, right? It's too expensive. Why? Because we present it in a way that we're not part of the value. When you think about it, you're like, 140, what's included? That's the Shakeology, the workout program, that's if you're getting 21-day fix, the portion containers, you get the shaker cup, and I think that's about it. And then like, the nutrition guide. You think about that, that's what you share that is included in the 140. What did I forget? Me. You are part of the package. When you believe that you have value enough to offer to these people and that you are part of that package, that 140 becomes a whole heck of a lot of a better deal. Because what do they get with you? They get the one-on-one support with you. They get the challenge group with you. They get your resources. They get your time. And I think so often people are like, I don't want to sell to people. I don't want to do this. Like, I feel really like salesy. Because they don't believe in what they have to offer. Personal trainers have no hesitation in offering their services and getting money for it. Why? Because they know what they're offering to people is valuable. So don't feel bad being part of the package. This is a business, guys. This is your time. This is your energy. People don't see what we do behind the scenes. There's so much time. Think about the hours you put into creating these resources that you put into the challenge group. They are worth something, guys. Make them worth something because you are part of that. Okay? Whew. All right. Got it? Okay. So that was number 1. Number 2, I promise the last 2 are shorter. Okay, number 2, sharing your story. I'm going to go back up to what I just said. What program are you doing? Okay? Actually, I want you guys to do this. Type in the chat box what program you're committing to. Like, I want to see what programs you guys are committing to. Because it is so essential. If you didn't see it, like if you couldn't see mine, my first one, and my team is going to laugh at me, and Amanda actually pushed me to do this. It's Country Heat. Y'all, I'm not even going to go into what I said about Country Heat, but Country Heat, I have actually made a calendar, and this might be something that you want to do. Make a calendar of what you're going to do and commit to it, okay? So I have Country Heat for this month. After that, I'm going to commit to Hammer and Chisel because I cannot do more than 30 days without my weights. I'm going to go crazy. And then I started my, I love somebody added Core de Force. Good for you. That's my 3rd one. That's December for me. Awesome. Good. Awesome, girl. I actually lost all my weight with Combat. So when they came out with Core de Force, I was like, literally my coaches next to me at Summit were like, what? I was like, yeah. Like, I was jumping up and down in my seat because that is like my jam. Give me some punching gloves and it's the biggest stress relief ever. So, but what are you doing? And then application to this, it goes with sharing your story. Are you sharing your story? Are you posting that transformation picture, that initial picture saying, hey, this is what I'm going to be doing, and I need to be accountable? Sharing your story on social media is the absolute best accountability that you will ever have for yourself. Something that I did, and I shared with Amanda Monday when I started Country Heat, was to get me excited about Country Heat, and now I'm really excited about it. I'm like doing like the rain dance over here with Country Heat. I'm loving it. But something that I told her I was committing to is a daily like documentary basically of myself through Country Heat. Why? Because it is holding me accountable to a program that initially I wasn't very excited about. But you have got to be sharing your story 2 to 3 times minimum on social media, okay? Like that, I'm telling you, if you can commit to a program, and if it's a picture of you doing something, if it's a video of you doing something, and doing your workout, do something, and I almost want to challenge you, do it like 5 times a week, because what does that do? Goes back up to believing in yourself. It breeds that confidence of I'm doing this and I'm going to get through this. And guess what? People are going to start cheering you on, okay? And they're going to believe in your consistency. They're going to believe that you're doing this when they see it over and over and over and over and over again, okay? So number 2, nutrition. Something that we don't often talk about a lot. Share it on social media. Share your story with nutrition. I suck at nutrition, y'all. Like, it is not my strong point. But when I'm sharing it on social media, again, I have that accountability to myself. And this is on top of our challenge groups. Share your good days. Share your bad days. My team and I laugh all the time because we get like 3 times more likes on when we like post like a cheat meal. But share that. You're not perfect. Share when you're having a cheat meal, but guess what? The next day, share your good meal. Share your positive that, yes, you had an ice cream cone that the night before, but the next day you were back at it and you were on track. So share those with people and see that this is real life. Like, I think people get objection. I can't do that. I can't stick to a meal plan. Well, good, so can I. You know, like, really, honestly, share that. Be transparent with people and say, I really struggled with it at first too, so I totally understand. But with the portion containers, I was able to finally figure out how I needed to be eating throughout the day. And I still have a cheat meal here and there. And our kind of thing for our challenge group is 80%, 20%. Stick to that plan 80% of the time, but life happens 20% of the time, and make it real. Be relatable with these people and give advice on social media, y'all. People love, like, I posted, me and a couple of my coaches found these like little fruit bars or whatever. And just give advice, like post a picture of something like cleaner, a cleaner option of something that you found. People love free advice, y'all. They like jump all over it. Sharing your story, vision. Amanda went into this, and I'm going to open up with what Jeff said at Summit, because I think a lot of times as coaches we say, hey, just give it a year. Just be here a year from now. No. Be here like 10 to 15 years from now. Like, that's what he said. That's what he challenged us to do. A year, I was listening to a call, and she was talking to Anita Myron, I think. She was talking about in the first year, if you make money, you're doing real good. If she showed her progression of her income, and it was the like year 3, year 4, where she was like making a ridiculous amount of money. But that first year was very, very, very minimal. The beauty of this job, y'all, is that we can, as entrepreneurs, it normally takes 3 years for somebody to make their money back. We get to make it back potentially in the first month. Like, that's crazy. And then after the first month, we have the potential to earn money. And then we build a team and we can earn more money. So don't be here for a year. Be here for 5, 10. Be here in the long run. If in your mind you're going to say, I'm just going to give it a year, you're not going to be here in a year. I'll tell you that. Be here in the long run, because you have to have this vision, and you have to create this vision for yourself and for other people. Summer Tucker did a great video, and she said, Summer Tucker, y'all, first of all, plug for Summer Tucker. If you don't follow her, you need to follow her, because she is like the spunkiest, like revved up person I have ever met. She like gets sweaty like in her conversations. Like, I would love to be like that. But yeah, she was saying, if people don't know where you're going, they ain't gonna hop on your train. But you've got to know where you're going. Do you know where you're going? Because if you know where you're going, you're going to be able to face all these objections, because the people that are telling you no now, if you are in this for the long haul and your train is just keep trucking ahead, those people that are telling you no and you keep following up with, they're going to hop on your train eventually. You just got to keep going. Ignore the no's and keep going, because those no's are going to keep running after that train eventually. I promise you. Okay, but you have to be consistent. You have to know where you're going. And when I say where you have to know where you're going, my personal another plug, read Girl Code, great book. And she said in it to create a vision board, and we hear that all the time. And I'm gonna like be really vulnerable right now. I've been a coach for a little over a year and a half, and I just made my first vision board. Like, slap on the hand, not good. But when I did it, it was, okay, I'm going to get emotional today. I'm not an emotional person. When I made that vision board, it was like, oh my gosh, not even pregnant. I had all of these images in my head of where I was going, what I wanted to do. And when she talked about this in Girl Code of what to do, and that's when I made it on my vision board. Like, I literally got up at like 1 a.m. and did it because I was listening to it. And she said, when we keep all of our dreams in our head, they're just wishes. They're not really reality. They're just wishes. But when we put them on paper and we write them down, and you use a pen and a piece of paper and you write them down, they then become part of a reality that's possible. Don't keep them locked up in your head. What was it? It was a quote. It said, I was listening to a motivational video, and he said the graveyard is the richest place on earth because all of the ideas and inventions and dreams and aspirations go down in there and are never succeeded because nobody puts them out there. When you put it down on paper and pen, it becomes part of your, like, not to be like universal, but it becomes very universal to you. It becomes real. When I saw my vision board for the first time of what I wanted to make a week, where I wanted to take my family, what I wanted to do with my family, these were things that were not in the books for me, ever. I'm a stay-at-home mom and my husband works in ministry. Money wasn't coming in for us. We were taking out of savings every month for diapers. I now pay for my car and I have both my kids starting school on Monday. That wasn't in the books for us. I was able to dream big for the first time because of this opportunity that we have. So why the heck are we not sharing it more? Why are we not combating objections with, but wait, let me share this little part of my story with you that I think you can relate to? Because a lot of people's objections combat it with a story. They don't want to know facts. They don't want to know numbers. They want to know, is this going to work for me? Make it work for them. Be real with them. Okay? So, and then one thing that we were listening to this video, share where you are now. And it's something I didn't do enough. People, there are some times that I think I'm still at a place in the business that it is relatable. The money I make is still fairly relatable. But to some it's not. You know, I'm lucky now to match my teacher salary. But what I didn't do enough in the beginning is sharing that I paid for my groceries, that I paid for my husband and I to go out on a date night for the first time in 6 months. Those are things that you need to share. We didn't have the money to go out. We literally did not go out for a span of 6 months at a time because we didn't have the spare money to do it. And I was so scared. I was so scared of sharing that aspect of my story because it was finances. But share that little thing and don't be afraid of sharing that, because that's gonna, my husband is literally yelling at me, time's up. Really? I'm not done yet. Sorry, y'all. They're used to like 40-minute calls. But yeah, so share those little things. And don't be afraid to share those little things, because that little thing might be the thing that combats somebody's objection. Today I shared the country heat video and I got a message from somebody that's told me no for like 6 months. And she was like, okay, that's what I needed. That's what I needed. Trying something new. I need to try something new. So share the little things. Lastly, reciprocate with a question. Amanda has the scripts that I use, and with my family literally screaming on the other side of the door that my time is up, really. Can y'all hear them? Like, Mommy's not done yet. I love that this is going to be recorded. This is what happens live. Okay, now you're going to hear her cry. I'm going to have to refocus. Amanda has scripts. My team already has these scripts in Google Drive. So make sure you'll just pass that on, I'm assuming, to your team. Okay, so utilize scripts for objections. These scripts that we use as a team have all these objections to it, but make sure when you get them that you use your voice. I don't want you to like copy and paste them directly how it is. Read through them, make them yours, change the names, change how it's spoken, because I want it to be you. But scripts are like the best thing for handling objections, because how many times do you like look at the screen and somebody gives you an objection and you're like, these have helped us so much, and it like I can kind of master through these messages a lot faster. The one thing I want to say about scripts is if it's not you, if it's not an answer that sounds like you, don't use it. There are many times that I don't use the scripts because I don't think they fit where they need to be. Okay, so kind of just use your judgment on them. But the one thing I want to say about scripts is how I have started talking to people is I now interview them. I have a script, and you'll see it, that I have about 12 questions, and I go through about 5 of them with people in the like interviewing process. And it becomes that I was telling Amanda today, I've never had anybody not answer these questions because it's talking about them. People love to talk about themselves. And by the end of these conversations, the goal is that you have given them the opportunity to talk to you and tell them what they need, that the idea becomes theirs and not ours anymore. It's great. So now when it comes to price, I don't share price until later. I still do obviously get lots of objections for that, lots and lots. But don't be afraid to interview people, okay? And then be their friend. This is the last thing. Don't sell, be their friend. When you're reciprocating with a question and somebody tells you no, like, go back with one of these objections that we have shared with you in these scripts. Make sure it feels right. If they're like a hardcore no, like maybe, back off a little bit. But a lot of people now with so many MLMs out there do think that we are selling. So if they tell you no, they're not telling you no personally. They are just telling you no to the product. Go back, put them on your follow-up list, not as a follow-up to invite them again, but just a follow-up to be their friend. Talk to them, tell them, hey girl, your shoes look great in that picture, or I love your new hair, or your new dog is so cute, go put them on your follow-up list, go look on their social media account, find something that is in common, and go talk to them about it. Be their friend. If they tell you no and then they never hear from you again until your next follow-up to invite them again, how do you think they would feel? Put yourself in their shoes. Be a friend. Go back and like their stuff. Comment on their stuff. I have literally had people that have told me no for a year. And I still follow up with them in regards to their life. And then every now and then I'll bring it up again. And they'll tell me no again, and I'll be their friend again. So be their friend. Don't sell. Don't sell. So all of this being said, we're going to close now. Now my kids have stopped crying. All of this is full circle, y'all. Amanda and I talked about this the other day. All of this rolls into one, and we try to figure out how to make this into a pretty graphic. So I'm really hoping I can just picture, create a graphic in your head. It's all for full circle. When you create and decide, I'm going to read personal development, I'm going to figure out in what program, and I'm going to start and finish it, you create a belief in yourself, right? You get that confidence, a little bit of confidence. And so from that confidence and maybe a transformation story, what do? You go share your story, and you share it with pride and maybe some hesitation at first. And you might not know exactly where you're going, but you know that you want to finish this program. So there's a little bit more of the circle. Well, as you start doing that, people start, you start talking to people, and you might talk to a few people, and you might get a couple objections because you're only talking to a few people. And you start, oh, you know what? I'm going to reach outside my comfort zone, and I'm going to ask them some more questions. Guess what? That brings some more confidence and goes back up to the believing in yourself, to getting a little bit more confidence and belief in yourself than you were before. And it almost is like a spiral, because you start here with this little circle, And then like you breed a little bit more confidence, and then a little bit more belief in yourself, and then a little bit more belief in yourself to where you're sharing a little bit more of the story that you never wanted to share before. And then because of the story that you're sharing, that is like a topic that you've never talked about before, it opens up this big door for amount of people that you can talk to. And because of that, you're going to get more no's. The more people you talk to, the more no's you're going to get. Okay? Listen to that part first. The more people you talk to, the more no's that you're going to get, but the more yeses that you'll get too. But then you'll start getting more confident with your questions and your interviewing and your, using scripts. And so you're going to build a little bit more confidence in that belief in yourself. And it's just a full circle over and over and over again it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And if you like drop down in some confidence a little bit, just start those again. Start those things that we said all over again. And it's going to keep building and building and building. So I went way over time. I'm sorry. I get like real passionate. Amanda and I we started our calls, our success partner calls, and we started at 45 minutes. I think we talked for 2 hours now. It's a little. Oh yeah. So anyway, thank you for having us and my team on here. I hope that was beneficial.
No, thank you, Lauren. I'm very happy that I went first and didn't have to follow you, because that was I was even taking some notes that I didn't have down here from when we had talked before. It was awesome. I think we're all fired up now. Thank you.
I got fired up, so I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
I don't know how I'm going to go to sleep. I feel like I should sit down and send out a bunch more messages and start working on that vision board that I honestly have not redone since too long ago.
You're ready for waterworks. That's all I have to say.
Oh gosh, just what I need.
Yeah, with you and your hormones. That's what I said. I was joking. I'm not pregnant.
But no, thank you so much. That was great. I hope everybody else thought so too. We'll get the recording up. I'll be sure to send it to you guys. And I just wanted to include in there that I did send you a link from one of the calls that one of our coaches did on the motivational interviewing that I think will help even take some of the scripts and stuff a step farther with everything she talked about in there. So, Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for having us. I appreciate it. Sorry it was a little bit longer than normal, according to my husband and my children. They're used to my time getting caught up at 40 minutes. So
we usually run about an hour, so it's perfect. Thank you.
Well, thank you for having us. Thank you for letting us use this Zoom.
Yeah. Thank you, Tammy, and thank you guys for all hopping on.
You guys did awesome. Thank you guys for putting that together. You guys did great.
I appreciate it. All right. Well, I will see y'all, and just give me the recording, and I'll pop it up on my team whenever my team
Awesome.
get it soon.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome.
Thank you. This was awesome.
Bye.
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 Bye.